All right, so this is Bauer's Roadmap to Success. Here's Bauer. Drop. Good boy. And I just want to remind the guardian of a couple of things that we talked about during today's session. I want to first refer you to the video above this one, and I'm going to add a little addendum to that. Remember that we've kind of pinpointed since we did that video that not only is it raising the voice, it's raising the voice and having anything, like if your finger's moving or you kind of have an intimidating posture, not you, but anybody, because that's usually what people look like before a dog is going to be like hit or anything like that. So him coming from a rescue, or being in a rescue from his past situation, there's a good chance that he was hit, so he gets intimidated is all I'm trying to say. So what I want you to do is practice different things. In the beginning, also work on the voice part, getting louder and louder, but also work on moving your hand around like this. In the beginning, I just want you to do it like you're almost like in front of a concert. You're directing the orchestra of like what's going on. You're nice and loose. This has nothing to do. It doesn't look intimidating, so he gets used to your hand moving around. And then and while you're doing that, you're giving him treats, and he's just like whatever. Eventually, you're going to be able to do something more stern. I'm not going to do it because he's right here, but keep them separate. Eventually, you can get to the point of kind of putting them together and giving him treats. But that should take at least a month before you're there, before you start combining things. So just remember to give treats while you're doing it. He's good at catching treats, so the good thing about that is you can kind of stand up and toss treats to him. You don't have to hand them to him. Tossing them is perfectly fine. Yes, he's got his little toy, which he loves. So that's one thing that I want you to practice. The other one was the kind of confinement situation. He's fine being confined as long as he feels like he can get away. So right now, I'm on the couch, the wall's behind me, he's here, and he can get away. Now, this is a perfect situation that if he were to feel cornered, if someone were to walk directly towards him quickly or come towards his side where he feels now trapped in the middle, this is the exact scenario that would get him to potentially be really nervous and get to the point of like curling his lip and warning and air snapping to kind of say that he is uncomfortable. He's not going to do that to me, but it'd be the person approaching, okay? So what I want you to do is the same type of concept. Have someone start to walk forward, stop about 4 to 6 feet away initially. Do that for 3 to 4 days. Toss treats to him. Do it, 1 to 5 times in a row. And then remember walking direct, making eye contact. That type of stuff will be important. If you're just moseying over, he won't take that to be threatening even a little bit, so it probably won't work. So make sure the person's still walking pretty directly, but tossing treats to him. We just want to change his experience when he feels confined from being nervous, tense, to happy and be like, oh great, someone's walking right towards me, they're gonna give me food. And he starts changing that to being happy. After about 3 to 4 days, say you had someone stop 6 feet away, have them move 5 feet away for the next 3 to 4 days, then 4 feet, and so on and so forth, until you get really close to him and are able to hand him treats, and he's just happy-go-lucky, he doesn't really care. So the goal is just to kind of get him more and more relaxed when people are walking towards him and he's kind of in a confined space. So this is all stuff that I would say is active training. Try to do this type of stuff as every day if you can. And again, keeping each session of the training to about 5 minutes or less, because you really don't want to spend a lot of time. You just want to do a little bit each day. You'll see the quickest results. So that's the active training component. The passive training part that I want you to focus on is if he does get in a situation where he's growly, for example, when he was out on the stairs or in the corner by the stairs, instead of reacting to him like by backing up or going towards him, I want you to ignore him. If you're going to take him and the other dog out and he's doing that, just walk right by him, act like it's no big deal, let the other dog out and just go about your business. That way he starts to think, wow, this really doesn't do anything for me. She's not approaching me, which would be scary, but she's also not backing away, so I'm not winning the situation. It just becomes neutral, is the best way to say it. Okay, remember the example of if you go to work every day and there's someone sitting near you and you say hi to them and they don't say hi back, eventually you'll just stop saying hi to them, not to be mean, but just because they never say hi back to you. That's all we're trying to do here, is kind of get him to the point where he's like, well, this doesn't really matter. They don't really seem to care. On the flip side, if you go down into that same corner and he's fine, then celebrate that. Tell him how good he is. Not just like, oh, good boy, but like, good boy, and he gets all excited, his tail wags, anything like that. So if you're approaching him, hi, Bunny. If you're approaching him and he's kind of looks in any way like he could be a little bit cornered and he's being nice and relaxed, remember to celebrate how good he is and how good he's doing. So that way he knows that, kind of growly is getting him no attention, but when he's calm in that scenario and feeling confident, he gets a lot of attention, and that will help turn that around. The other thing the last thing I want to mention in terms of helping him through that is that if he does get growly and it seems kind of unpredictable and a little strange, one way that you can pull him out of it is by grabbing a couple of treats and then directing him with things he knows, like sit, lay down, things like that, because it'll help pull him out of that kind of, because he shuts down, it'll bring his confidence back up and kind of snap him out of it. So just grab some treats. You don't want to give him treats for just sitting there being growly. We're not tossing treats. We're going to call him over, try to pull him away from literally where he's stuck. Just tell him to sit, give him a treat, ask him to lay down, do it a couple of times. Just try to get him moving around a little bit, because he responded really well to that earlier when we did that. All right, and then last I want to say that everything that you do trains your dog, only sometimes you mean it.